Let me ask you about an attack ad that you had up on Mayor White this week, in which you had the endorsement of a number of Houston police officers, his former employees, who were unhappy with the fact that they were working in what they described as a sanctuary city, right? I've looked at, and others have looked at, the policies of the Department of Public Safety, which is a state agency under your authority, and with regard to this issue, the Department of Public Safety's policies are materially no different than the policies of the city of Houston. So why is Texas not a sanctuary state if Houston is a sanctuary city?
I consider those police officers having a very good handle on the directives that were given to them from their chief of police, working in conjunction with the mayor, that it was a sanctuary city.
But the policies of the Department of Public Safety, I'll quote you the language. Department of Public Safety will not engage in enforcement of federal immigration statutes. That is from the Department of Public Safety's own charge. Why is that different from Houston?
I think that the Houston statute is different.
You just think it's, but it basically says the same thing, that they don't enforce federal immigration statutes.
I think the Houston law is different than what you're looking at.
You're asserting that it's, so right. Does that not sound like a sanctuary city agency sort of deal to you? Will not engage in enforcement of federal immigration statutes?
Evan, here's what I think.
Yeah.
If anybody, you included, try to paint Texas as a sanctuary state, that they're walking off onto some pretty thin ice.
Well, I'm not trying to paint it as that. I'm just trying to understand the difference between the two.
Yes, sir. I'm just making a statement, though.
Right, okay.
And the statement is that nobody, no state, has had a more engaged effort to secure the border in this country than Texas has. $230 million that we've approved for the legislature, the creation of the Ranger Recon teams. And the fact is that this shouldn't even be an issue if the federal government has done its work of securing the border. You can pass all the immigration laws that you want for as many years as you want. There's a revolving door at the border and people can come back in. Jocelyn Johnson, whose husband was killed by an illegal, sure thinks Houston had a sanctuary city law in place, and that thinks that Houston is a sanctuary city. And I'm going to stand up with those men and women in the Houston Police Officers Union and the other law enforcement groups across the state that sure think Houston had a sanctuary city, regardless of what the wording that somebody may find is.